Alrighty, let's get started here. Welcome to those of you that have come. Thank you for joining. I think it's really important that we do this and that we have a live component to it. And I'll be sending out an announcement a little later on today, just reiterating that it's mandatory for people to either attend or view the videos afterwards. Just getting set up here, a few things. I've got a few notes that I want to go over with everyone, as much for posterity for the people that'll view this afterwards, and maybe some of the people, there's probably, as an estimate, 60% of the class that has never viewed in office hours. So, and I know that by the questions that I get repeatedly, so I want to sort of memorialize some of the stuff we've talked about in the past. Bear with me. I will certainly address answers and talk about what's coming up in the next week for you guys as well. So yeah, just be patient with me. My first reminder to everyone is that when you send me an email, please put the subject, either number or name in the subject's number or name in the subject line in your email. I respond to about 20 to 25% of email on average with the simple question, which course? I am teaching 3, and you should just get in the habit of making your subject line descriptive. It's fine to say academic integrity module question, but tell me what subject you're coming from to ask that. Okay. Speaking of academic integrity module, this was a tough Friday for me as I was bombarded by email. In this course, we have almost 280 students. Overall, in my 3 courses, I have 800 students. So even if 10% or 15% of the students don't follow directions or ask questions that have already been addressed, it is very, very easy to overwhelm me, and that's exactly what I got. The questions that I got once people had established what course they were talking about was most often, I can't see quiz 1, sir. You know, what's wrong? Something's wrong, quiz 1. And the simple answer to that was that the student either had not done the academic integrity module and the course requirements quiz, or they had done it and not got it perfect, or they had submitted it beyond the time. Well, they'd submitted it sometime that day and they were just waiting for me. They thought that I would just drop everything every time a single submission came in. And that's, of course, not scalable. I cannot just drop everything that I'm doing and mark, especially late submissions, as soon as they come in. I set aside time to do that, and I do them in batch. So when you're dealing with 800 students, you do things in batches. You don't do it individually. If I had classes of 5 students, I would respond to every question. I would immediately drop things and go and mark things and review things. I can't possibly do that when I'm getting bombarded by student questions. It'd be a full-time job. So I just can't do that. And incidentally, it's not my full-time job. This is a part-time thing that I do, that I do for the joy of teaching and not so much the joy of administrating. So the academic integrity module, for those of you that are still not seeing quizzes, probably the hang up if you've not done the academic integrity module properly is you did not include your name in the screenshot. I had all sorts of strange things come in. I had people send screenshots of my academic integrity, the sample one. I had people sending me pictures of their marks for the course requirements quiz. I had the bulk of people that didn't do the academic integrity properly were sending me pictures without their name on it. I need to see your name. That's right in the directions. Take the time, read the directions. We've talked about this previously. Before you make a submission, review the directions one last time and make sure your submission conforms to everything. And that goes for any submission. take the chance just before you submit to make sure that you've covered all your bases. So the course requirements quiz, in many cases was done well. In other cases, there were up to 45. The record this term is 45 attempts for that. So that's a random shotgun approach. We are all university students or graduates here. We are supposed to be using our brains and not the law of large numbers to try and get through this stuff. There's nothing hard in that course requirements quiz whatsoever. The only thing that may qualify as being slightly challenging is the APA formatting, and that's in there because it's a requirement for the course. You have to be able to use APA formatting. That's why it's in at the front end, so that you take the time to look at it. I've always posted the links to get to the formatting and the academic skills video that talks about APA formatting, and I know for sure that 90% of students don't avail themselves of that resource. I get to see how many times videos are viewed and links are clicked, so I know 100% for sure that they're not being used appropriately or to the level that they need to be. I received several whiny emails telling me how there's no way that the answer was proper and what were they supposed to do. Oh my, oh my. What you're supposed to do is what every university student's supposed to do. You're supposed to do your research. I provided you with the source material. Go ahead and figure it out, okay? If you get in so deep that you are having a big problem, I'm happy to provide a hint, but generally, if you have the link and it's just a citation and reference format, this is something you're going to need in university, and I'm surprised at how many people are unable to simply take the question and look at the examples and see if they're good or not, and instead just randomly. So if it's a multiple answer, the first time they answer A, the next time B, the next time C, the next time D, and then A and B, A and C, A and D. It's embarrassing. So please use your analytical abilities, not your ability to submit 45 times in order to get the right answer. In the future, I've learned something from this. In the future, I will be allowing 5 attempts per week. And those of you that are with me for the first time in this course, I do teach a couple other courses, as I've said. When you come to 2750 or 3750 and I'm teaching it, I will be allowing only 5 attempts. I am not marking 45 attempts because the compounded problem is that they were being submitted late. So it's not being auto-compiled by the computer, by Blackboard. I don't have to do anything, but I have to click on each and every attempt so that I authorize it to be graded. So that's a tremendous waste of my time, and it's laziness on the part of the student. So again, I recognize that the people that I'm talking to live here right now are not likely to be the people that did that, but I have to memorialize this so that the people that do that, if we can get them to actually watch an office hours, they may rethink their approaches. So quiz 1 didn't show up on time for a lot of people. I pulled the chute at 9 o'clock last night. I think 9 o'clock on a Friday night for marking stuff that was already a week late, by the way, is more than adequate. I've done my part. I marked continuously all week. You know, an hour here and an hour there to go through and mark all these. At 9 o'clock, I'd had enough. So I did stop. So there were people that emailed me. I've responded to every email. There were people that emailed me at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. I can't see the quiz. Why can't I see the quiz? Well, I responded to those people this morning. The reason you couldn't see the quiz is because I hadn't marked your late submissions. So that's sort of the end of the look backwards. Does anyone have any questions relating to stuff in the past like that? Does anyone want to ask a question or get a clarification? Anything I can tell you? Okay, well, let's look forward. Let's look forward to better times here. So we are into chapter 2 in the coming week. So I'm just pulling up my syllabus. Bear with me. So Monday, January 24th to Sunday, January 30th is chapter 2, gaining competitive advantage through information systems. And the chapter 2 quiz is due Friday. If you were able to see the chapter 1 quiz, you're good. There's nothing further. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to see the chapter 2 quiz. So once you've released the quizzes, you've released the quizzes. So that should be good. If you haven't, you still have until sometime on Friday to get those 2 requirements in. I will be marking periodically. I do not promise that I'll even make it to 9 o'clock on Friday. I will be marking on Friday for sure, but you're probably best off to get them in over the weekend or Monday, Tuesday, or something like that, so that you can have some time with the quiz. The other thing, and probably maybe a little more exciting for some people at least, is that sometime today, at some point before midnight tonight, I will be releasing the term papers. So let's talk about the term papers in so far as where to find them. When I do so, there is going to be on your left-hand menu, right below the general discussions menu item, there's going to be something called groups, bracket, topics. Okay. So when you pull that up, it's going to give you a pick list of 12 different topics. I would suggest that you look through those topics, see what's interesting. You may want to take a more rigorous approach to it and not only see what's more interesting to you, but see what you can find a decent amount of data on. Some of them are going to be harder to find than others. So please do make an educated choice as to what topic, especially if you're one of the early people. I've said it before, probably, I don't know, 30% of the class with a couple weeks left has not picked a topic. That will probably happen again this year, I would expect, but there is a cap to registration for each topic. So I've got, let's say, 280 students. Just pull up my calculator here. 280 divided by 12 topics. Whoops, that's definitely not right. We've got probably there'll be 24 students allowed per topic. It may balloon to 25 if we're not done with the late registration, but I think we are. So there'll be up to 24 people, say, per topic. So topics can fill up and they will just drop out of your pick list. Please be careful. When you choose your topic and you send me an email and ask me to change your topic, I will not do that. I can't possibly get caught in the game of shuffling people from topic to topic. I've said that before, but I just won't do it. So make your decision, make your choice, and then you'll have your topic. So in your topic, there will be the instructions. You'll start to see the beginning of the instructions for the term paper itself, and you can kind of review those. Now, once you've made that choice from the groups, bracket topics, and bracket menu item, it's going to disappear. Once you have chosen a topic, there's nothing going to be there for you. So I will get inevitably some email saying, sir, I chose a topic, but it disappeared. It did not disappear. It is now available to you under assignments. So once you've chosen a topic, that topic will pop up. Your specific topic will pop up in assignments, and that's where you'll be submitting it. That's your Dropbox. But you'll be able to see your topic. You'll be able to see all the instructions and advice and everything else in the assignments tab, and then ultimately you will submit. You'll be able to submit as many times as you want, and I'll mark the last one. That's fine. But keep in mind, one of the instructions is going to be that I need it in Word format. I will not accept it in any other format. If we get to the due date and you've submitted it in Word, and that's the last one, I will try to notify you as soon as possible that you've submitted it in the wrong format. I'm not bound to do that. It could be a week later that I do that, but I will take a quick look through. hopefully identify the few students that will have submitted as a PDF or some other format that's unacceptable. And there will be a flat 10% penalty for resubmitting. I will not mark it if it's not in Word format. So I'll give you the peer behind the glass or behind the reasoning for why I do that. It's not that I'm setting up barriers for you. Word is the best way for our software called Turnitin to scan your submission and make sure that it's not plagiarized in any way. There's ways around in other formats that you can send it in that I can read it as a human, but Turnitin cannot process it and cannot see. So I won't accept anything but Word. All right. So that's why. I mean, I have all my, I understand that you're seeing that I have all my peculiarities and I have very specific instructions for everything. There's a reason for everything. I'm not just trying to make your life difficult. There is an actual reason and experience behind what the choices are that I'm making. So that's that is pretty much it, I think, in terms of what's going on. Just looking at my notes here, what's going on this week for you guys. You don't have to rush. Like I said, you don't have to rush to pick that term paper, but I strongly recommend that you get it, figure out what it is that you what you're going to write on, and start writing content. That's the biggest area that people have trouble with, I would say, in this course, is leaving that too late and then rushing it and not getting the mark that they're expecting. I believe it's 25% of your mark, and I will verify that right now. The written assignment is worth 25% of your mark, so it's a big deal. It's not something that's insurmountable. If you start putting content to it and refine it over the next couple months, you'll be happy with your mark. If you rush it within the last week or something and you slap something together and you have to put in lots of baloney to get it up to 1,500 words or whatever, I'm going to know that by reading it. It's going to be very, very apparent, and you won't get the marks that you're looking for. So it's also, by the time we get to that point in the term, guess what? You're going to have all sorts of assignments due. You're going to have all sorts of challenges. You may have some in-class finals. You'll be getting ready for finals. So the term goes really, really fast. And if you can even put a few hours to it a week, you're going to be very happy with the way it turns out. Prisca, am I saying your name right?
Yeah, it's Prisca.
Prisca, sorry. Yeah, what can I do for you?
On Blackboard, I don't see the groups tab where you've asked us to see the term papers, and I haven't chosen any term paper yet.
So, sorry, you're saying that you can't see where to choose the topic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not released yet. So it's going to pop into, it's going to pop into appearance sometime between now and midnight. And I thought it was best. Well, I had a couple things going on. One, the students were still joining the course, so I didn't think it was fair to release the topics before everyone had a chance to join. I hope that that's over now, that Friday was the last day to join this course and every course. But the other thing is, I thought I would announce it here to the people that took the time on the Saturday to actually attend this, so that you knew to look for it. So if you look, all I need to do is review my topics and maybe tweak one or two of them, and then it'll pop into appearance on your menu there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Prisca. Does anyone? Pratham. Sorry.
Yeah, I have a question related to Chapter 3.
Yes.
That is managing information systems.
Yeah.
Can you give a real life example of extranets? Like, I was studying it. I came to know that it was between businesses to businesses, but I couldn't figure out where it is used in real life. So if you could elaborate on that. Thank you.
So sorry. Sort of rephrase the question for me a little bit. You're looking to see in business to business how that would be used, how an information system would be used in real life. Is that?
I mean the extranets. The extranets.
Oh, extranets.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got, and I'll just sort of expand a little bit here. We've got intranets, we've got extranets as well. And extranet is sort of an extended network across a large geographic area. So whereas an intranet would typically be in an office or in a building or something like that, an extranet might connect a series of different offices. So if my business had a head office in Toronto and an office in Vancouver and Halifax, they could all be part of the same extranet. Does that make sense? They would have their own intranets within each building probably, but then they would be connected by some mechanism between those different cities.
So yeah, so the information travels between through those offices only. It is not available to anyone else.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah,
Got
the largest extranet, like an extranet, you can look at the internet as an extranet, right? Like it's everywhere. It's scaled everywhere. But yeah, you in the old days, it would be a specific heavy communication cable dedicated between. Like even if you look at Trent University, for instance, you could have an extranet there going from building to building, right? You could have dedicated communication lines. The idea is that it is private to just the people within that company or within that campus, but you are able to all access the same sorts of things.
Got it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Does anyone else have any? I've lost my chat, so bear with me. Grab that. Oh, there we go. All right. My chat just pops in behind when I'm looking at my web browser and such. Where do we find these topics again? Okay, Priska, sorry, you ended up asking me because I ignored your chat question. Ethan, one thing I want to ask is for the chapter 2 quiz, what will the quiz, will that quiz have a time limit or not? Good question. No time limits on the quizzes, period. Not at all. Okay, they can be saved and resumed. They do have to be in by Friday at 11:59. That's the only restriction on them. Once you've done one quiz, and I don't know if you specifically got your quiz 1 done or not, but once you've seen one, they're all the same format, exactly, 100% the same each time. No time limit. Take your time. Refer to the book. The idea, I'm wanting to make sure that you get a chance and you understand the concepts. I might as well reiterate. I've had a couple questions. I don't release the answers. So if you don't get perfect, I do not release the answers nor tell you which ones are right or wrong. There's a couple reasons for that. One, philosophically, I am testing your knowledge. I'm not trying to provide a learning environment out of the multiple choice quizzes. I don't want to get to a point where what the class is doing or what the class is incentivized to do is simply remember or memorize multiple choice questions. I want you to actually learn something, and I'm using the quizzes to test how well you're doing that. You will see those quiz questions or some of those quiz questions on things like midterms and finals. So it's worth your while to review yourself, even though I get, maybe you get one wrong and it might take you a while to go through and figure out which one was not correct. But that makes a learning process happen as opposed to you just memorizing, oh, I got question 3 wrong. I just have to memorize it. That was 33 and not 3. So that's the philosophy that I'm following here. But you will see them again. You may want to take screenshots or write down or take notes or record your screen, whatever methodology you want to use while you're doing the quizzes, because there's a good chance you're going to see at least some of those questions again. Does anyone else have any questions for me? All right. Well, I think we're through the majority of the chaos. It's always a scramble at the beginning of the term. It's worth noting that I did make the academic integrity module and the course requirements quiz due on the first week, not the second week. And we didn't really have much else to do. So I'll rethink how I do that next time. And I think that the idea of having restricted chances to do those mandatory things so they roll over into another week is probably the way I'll go. Nothing will change for us because it's in the syllabus the way it is. But moving forward, I think I'll refine my methodology for future classes. If you don't have questions, please get on with your Saturday. Thank you very, very much for coming out. Thanks for the questions. I will take this, edit it very slightly so that it just starts when we started, and I'll post it like I always do with an announcement. You will also see an announcement. I'll probably delay the announcement to give you guys just a slight edge because you attended this. I'll delay the announcement very slightly when I release the term paper. And I don't mean by very much, but that announcement will come out, and there will also be an announcement saying that it's mandatory to either attend or watch these office hours. Okay, so thank you very much. Get on with your Saturday, and we'll talk next week. Or if you send me an email question, I'll happily answer that. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.